So I was somewhere in the US. I don't know where. Maybe Washington, D.C., maybe somewhere else. That detail is not important. What is important is that I drove up to BCS in Lennoxville. And while there, I thought that I had this urge to see people. I had this urge to meet people as I do. And I was trying to figure out who to see, what to do. And then I found Jerry Wu. And I told Jerry that, you know what? Come with me to the US. I'm going to be driving back and just come with me. And I convinced him. I said that, it's just a drive. So before we started off on our trip, I started thinking, who can we meet on the way? Who is in what town? And I thought of random people. I can't remember exactly who. And then I got to the point in my dream where I thought, I've told Jerry, who is not in Canada, by the way. He's living in Taiwan. So I don't know where he came from in this picture, but I told Jerry that, come with me to the US. And suddenly I started thinking, what if he's expecting me to drive back and drop him off? Because that's not what I'm doing. I'm just returning to the US. And I was in a confusion that right then, that should I tell him, should I just bring him and then let him make his way back, which would not be a very nice thing. And I was thinking about vaccines and quarantines and my certificate, my vaccination certificate, and all types of very random things. And there's something about my phone that since I didn't bring my SIM card for the US, I didn't have my US number, which is rubbish since my US number is a virtual number anyway. There's no physical SIM attached to it. So this was the dream that I was having. I was in the midst of this. Oh, interesting part. I was with somebody. Where did I meet Jerry or whoever it was? I was with somebody. I was staying at his place with a bunch of other people. And I think it is Montreal. Even the guy himself lives, I think, somewhere in California. So I was in his house and he had a bunch of his buddies and they were going out for dinner. And I said, no, I'm going to stay home because I knew that all these buddies would get into their adda and they'd chat and I'd be left out and I'd be silent because I wasn't as close to the group. They were a Manarat group from Manarat, Dhaka. So I've already got BCS and Manarat. I've got Washington, D.C. I've got Lennoxville. It was a hodgepodge of a dream that made no sense. And that was it. And I was, I guess, half asleep. And that's when the intercom rang. And I jumped out of bed. I could recognize it as the intercom. And I walked towards it. I walked into the hallway. And but I didn't have to answer the intercom because my dad got to it first. But the point is that even as I reflexively went towards the hallway, towards the ringing, I was so confused to see myself in Dhaka. And I really believed that I was in the US. This dream was not one where I'm sure it was a dream because a lot of it was made up. I was meeting people that I haven't talked to in over 30 years. But I thought of making a video of this and telling you this discombobulated dream because I don't dream and I don't remember them. And this came from having a Tylenol PM last night to help me go to sleep. And I was in a deep sleep when my mother came and said that we need to go to the bank and get your work done, which I did.